Canberra's known as the bush capital, with the appeal of country living but the benefits of city life. The population is booming, set to reach 500,000 residents in 3 years' time. Housing construction is struggling to keep pace and property increasingly unaffordable.
Here you go, Teddy. You want to check some mail?
Dawn McGrath and her husband are raising 4 daughters and would love to have just a little more space, but can't afford to buy a home of their own.
So it was have children or save up for a house. So we had children and now we're trying to save and save and save and work really hard and diligently.
The family of 6 live in social housing. They've tried to find something bigger than their 3-bedroom place, but with no luck.
We're in affordable housing and we would prefer not to move out of affordable housing with so many children. And so we've just been in contact with our organisations, making lots of submissions and requests and just kind of getting bumped back again and again.
2/3 of Canberra's housing is standalone homes on suburban blocks. The supply of apartments has grown in recent years. So in this election campaign, Labor is promising to build more townhouses and duplexes and extend the light rail to service more of Canberra's inner urban areas.
Our challenge now is what's called the missing middle, and that is how we can undertake gentle urbanism to moderately increase the density around our suburban shopping centres.
Is there a risk that in moving towards greater density, you lose some of that character of the bush capital that attracts many people to Canberra in the first place?
So we are very conscious of that, and there are inbuilt protections around what's called hills, ridges and buffers. Where you can develop in Canberra is very clearly defined, and so the challenge really is what type of housing should go there.
The Liberals support increasing density in some areas, but they've offered a bold alternative in this campaign, promising to turn a pine forest in the Territory's disconnected east into a new town centre with 100,000 homes. Confident the desire for house and land packages will overcome concerns about the distance and dearth of infrastructure.
So far, what we have seen from a long-term Labor Greens government is an infill policy that doesn't meet the needs and the wants of Canberrans. And we know this because over a number of ballots for land release, we've seen up to 12,000 applications for sometimes a mere 100 blocks.
No water, no sewerage, no electricity. It is not an area that has had any significant housing focus. It's an important recreation area for many Canberrans, and there are other choices.
It's a clear policy choice that will be familiar around the country. But as big a problem as the housing crisis is in the ACT, it's unlikely to move the electoral dial.
The leader of ACT Labor.
Labor has been in power either in its own right or in coalition for the last 23 years.
To think how long that is, that's the same period between the Chifley government losing in 1949 and Gough Whitlam winning in 1972. So they used to talk about Labor having a period in the wilderness in those days. The wilderness in the ACT for the Liberal Party seems to go on and on.
The ACT elects a 25-member Legislative Assembly using the Hare-Clark system of proportional representation, which has seen the 3 major parties, Labor, Liberal and Greens, dominate. Independents are hoping to replicate David Pocock's success in winning an ACT Senate seat in the federal parliament. But history and Hare-Clark make that a tall order. Nonetheless, Andrew Barr says he's willing to talk to any crossbenchers elected to form government again.
There are a number of different governance models.
And you're open to all of those different models?
Of course we are. You have to be.
Although he's served as Chief Minister for 10 years and is the only COVID-era government leader left, Andrew Barr isn't done with politics yet.
I got a shot in the arm politically with the election of the Albanese government because a whole range of things that were just going nowhere under a federal Liberal government suddenly got a lot of momentum.
The Liberals have leaned into Labor's longevity and alliances with the Greens to pitch for change.
There is definitely a sense of complacency and arrogance about this long-term government, and there is this sense that there is a born-to-rule mentality.
I don't make any apologies for Labor having been successful in multiple campaigns in winning the largest share of votes and seats. Our voters, and they are the largest voting group in this city, want us to continue to offer practical and progressive policies for Canberra.
Despite the ACT being one of Australia's most progressive jurisdictions, the ACT Liberals are one of the more conservative branches of the party in the country. Elizabeth Lee has sought to position the party more towards the centre. When 730 spoke to her, she was upbeat despite the poor prospects of success. How do you rate your chances of the Liberals managing to get into government?
Look, things are really, really positive out there.
But since then, the Liberals' campaign troubles have increased thanks to self-inflicted wounds, with Elizabeth Lee losing her patience and flipping her middle finger at a reporter after a testy exchange.
I apologise. I am disappointed in my behaviour, and I'm more disappointed that my daughters may think that it's not the type of behaviour they expect from their mother.
Coming after controversy about the social media posts of a Liberal candidate and disendorsing another, the Liberals' chances of ending Labor's multi-decade reign over the nation's capital look as slim as ever.
I've called Labor's administration, the ACT, the forever government. It's been there for 23 years now. It's probably going to be there for another 4 years.